Hey guys, we just got back from HIM, the psychological football horror film, directed by Justin Tipping and produced by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw.
I was tricked.
You were tricked
in the trailer. I thought Jordan Peele did it.
I'm not going to lie to you, Joe. For the longest time, I thought this was a Jordan Peele film.
Me too.
And then randomly, I ran across an article. Jordan Peele is still trying to think of his next idea. And I'm like, but what about the thing? And then I looked it up. It's Justin Tipping, who has done
such hits as
nothing. Nani and Kicks. These are the one 2011, 2016. So I guess an indie film director. And yeah, I like horror. I like football. I love football. This is why I hate Madden so much, because our only option is to fucking play Madden if you're a big fan of football. So I like football. I like horror. I should like this, that this is directed towards, me. And unfortunately, it's not very good, y'all. Save your money.
Skip this.
Skip it. Unfortunately,
I was bored.
I wanted to like it more than I ended up liking it. I get the message here. Message! Listen, message! Right? But you know what's funny is my mom's super religious, and from time to time she'll tell me, don't watch this or don't watch that. And so I guess the religious community must have caught wind of this or something. They probably haven't even seen it themselves. Honestly, that just makes me more interested to go out and see it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I was hoping something would happen. No. I was hoping they would push the demonic aspects or the cult aspects or some of these things. It's never pushed hard enough. And so it ends up flat as a football movie. They're in a small sports training arena. And they never go up on the field. So if you're thinking it's a sports film, it's a shitty sports film. If you're thinking it's a horror, it's a shitty horror because there's no scares. There's no tension. There is some creepiness from time to time, but I know Marlon Wayans from comedies, so he wasn't.
I think he's a good actor.
I think
he's a great actor.
I think he actually did a wonderful job.
Sure.
I hate this movie. I don't think it's any good. He actually did a really good job.
He did a great job.
I want to.
But he doesn't scare me.
No.
He doesn't give me the creeps, and it's not horrific enough. There is sort of a gory or some blood splurting and some gore in a final conclusion that comes far too late.
And it's not satisfying.
Not satisfying. If you had brought this sooner, maybe you could have saved the film, but unfortunately, this is flat. It's flat. Like Joe said, it's boring at times. It's like, get on with it. Let's get some action. Let's get some, what's the fucking push the message, And I guess it's just flat, and it doesn't really. It's just not effective. I didn't like it, guys. What did you think of HIM?
I was bored out of my mind. This was too goddamn long and wasted my goddamn time. Luckily, you drove, so I saved my gas.
But you did have to buy
Joe,
food.
You love football.
There's better movies. Fucking Air Bud, Golden Receiver is way better than this.
What? Hold on, Joe. Wait a minute.
Air Bud was better.
I don't know. I haven't seen Air Bud, but I'd imagine this is better than Air Bud.
It was not a very good movie. Like, you don't really get any football stuff. It's like, you get. Honestly, it's like, you go to training camp with fucking Antonio Brown. He's fucking crazy. And that's what he was.
This was this film. If you don't know Antonio Brown, he's a Steelers receiver that kind of just lost his shit, and he was going to make a lot of money.
Man.
And he walked away from the game when he could have made a lot of money.
He ripped his clothes off during the game. He took pictures with it. He did naked things, and he's the CEO of CTESPN.
Yeah. So it was just kind of crazy. The imagery was there. But you don't really care.
I can see some people liking the imagery, but then that's just cotton candy. There's no substance.
No,
there's no
there
calories.
wasn't.
There's
just
no.
like, oh, this is the dinner scene, blah blah blah, and like this random shit is like our savior. The team's name is the Saviors, and this and that. It's like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Your soul or whatever?
So if you actually see the trailer, that's the film.
Yeah, it
really doesn't push it that much further in any direction other than the trailer. Oh, flashy bits and bodies and blah, blah. What are you willing to sacrifice? Everything. The film's over.
It was not good, and like this guy thought he was so profound with all this stuff, and like it's
the imagery
it felt
and the
fucking
weirdness.
Like, so many
And
messages.
sometimes it works, and just sometimes it doesn't. I think it was who said when we walked out of the theater, Alex or you, he was like, well, that wasn't the sequel to Her. Yeah. Well, I liked Her way more than I liked him.
Oh, that's a way better movie.
Way better movie. I think it was A24, actual horror, some creepy, what the fuck is going on? At the end of Her, it's like, what the fuck? At the end of Him, it's like... Yeah, but
like, well, that's good. It's done.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad it's over.
I'm glad. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I waited for. I mean, that's what I imagined. The film is the film has no imagination.
I had work to do. I would have rather been here doing the work than seeing this fucking movie. It's just not
This
a good.
is work as well.
It's not a good. It's not a good horror movie.
No.
It's not a good sports movie. It's not a good hybrid movie. The director didn't do a very good job. The editing's fucking weird. They're so up their own ass with some of their stuff. I love cult stuff. I really wish we could have really gone in that, and we throw a lot of the bullshit aside. Had we done any number of other things, I think we could have had a better movie. But they didn't do them, and so we got low effort. I just can't wait to see the new advertisements, and Jordan Peele's name is just taken off the top. He's like, can you please stop using my fucking name? I don't want to be associated with your 25% on Rotten Tomatoes fucking garbage movie.
And that's why you like, it's going to be a shit movie. I was like, well, it might be pretty good.
Yeah, maybe.
But then I realized it was...
Just because you met Jordan Peele one time, and he's like, yeah, man, horror movies, you don't even have to make good horror movies. Blumhouse makes mostly bad movies, and they make tons of money. And so he's got a great business thing, and so he probably's just like, look, I'll give you a small amount of money, but maybe don't put my name at way up at the top because people are going to think that I made this shit. And it's shit. It's not a good movie.
Yeah. The concept's there. It could work. I see what the message is. I see the glorification of fame, of stardom, of football as a sport, the ownership of players and you know,
gladiatorial thing is the violence.
Yeah. Cult worship, hero worship, savior worship, all these kinds of things. They're all there, but so surface level. Nothing is explored. It's not a cult movie. There's a creepy ass lady, the fucking sweaty, dirty, druggy looking, lady with all these painted up guys in the desert. Never explained, never explored. It could have been interesting with a cult. And the fucking sombrero guy wanting a fucking signature. So there's things in it that could be interesting, but they're just used for cheap visual.
Yeah.
It's a visual without substance. Yeah. And it makes me frustrated because I do like the concept. And I thought that it would get meaner, and I thought that it would get grosser and dirtier and just push that envelope and really shock people. But no, it just does the bare minimum. You and me, we're gonna fight and then we're gonna determine the new champion, the new fucking GOAT.
I mean, honestly, this movie needed like another 30 minutes. Like they cut it. Well, so it's like you cut off if you cut off the very end point, and we move the very very final point another 30 minutes, and we have this kind of reveal, and we get to explore the reveal and him coming to terms with those things. I think that's the interesting part of the movie. All of the shit at the beginning wasn't interesting. So it's like we cut that part there, and we put that towards the end. Maybe we could have had something.
So right now, fewer than 50 voter ratings. So audience doesn't have a score yet, but critics are at 32%.
Oh, it's gone up.
Yeah, what was it?
It was in the high 20s.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it'll go up. I'm sure audiences will be kinder to it because, they always are. And, it's a sports and horror. It's got good actors. Good performances, I'd say. The fault is not with Marlon Wayans. The fault is not with Tyreek Withers, who's the main, the young quarterback, up and coming quarterback. It's just with the execution, the writing, the climax, what it was all for.
The intro, the middle, the ending.
Intro,
Yeah,
the
the editing.
boring part.
The editing.
They couldn't even do like the sexual stuff right. They couldn't even do the this right and that right. And it was just goofy and hokey. And if they tried to make a commentary about all of what we just said, including toxic masculinity and family.
The savior. I was thinking about Tim Tebow.
Huh?
Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
No?
How does Tim Tebow factor in?
Because it's like their savior, and like they were all high on Tim Tebow. And
Tim Tebow was the savior of the team or something? I don't know the Tim Tebow story now. I knew that he was really popular, but so you're saying this would have been Tim Tebow, the young guy?
Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know.
This just, dang it. It may be a talented cinematographer, but unfortunately not a talented director or, story. It just doesn't have the meat there.
Yeah, I didn't really like any of the shots.
You didn't even like the shots?
No.
I thought some of the shots were nice, creatively colored and interesting to look at. They do this effect where it reminds me of there's this actual zero talent YouTube crap. It's like YouTube poop. It's really bad. But they do really cool visuals, and it's like this infrared visual. I'm trying to remember the film. It was so bad.
I mean, so I love some of that stuff too, but that stuff for me is always cherry on top. And if you don't have a good foundation, then it's just like, who cares? There was some really cool costume design too. There's some really crazy stuff that happened, but there is no foundation here. So it's like, oh, this is just completely wasted. You get no points because it's like you're not elevating anything. You're multiplying something times zero still. It's like I don't care how good the costume was. Everything about this was bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Travis Scott was in one of it. It's like his first film. What film has Travis Scott been in that has this kind of visual style to it? But those shots were interesting to me. But yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about the film while I look this up.
Yeah, it kind of drags on in the beginning and then in the middle, and then everything is so abrupt. Like, it's so fast at the end. And I think that once the movie starts to get even a little bit interesting, and it's not that interesting, but just even a little bit interesting, we just speed run our way through all the interesting parts, and then it, I guess, thankfully just ends all of a sudden, but it was rough.
So it reminds me, and Joe, you might like this because it's just so bad. It's like one of those films that it's like almost painful to get through, but yet you can't take your eyes off. It's called Aggro Drift. Came out in 2023, and it's had Travis Scott in it for a little bit. And it's done in this visual style that reminds me. I'll put up some of the visual stuff. But the movie itself is one of the Harmony Korine or something is the director. So it reminds me of that. If Harmony Korine had a little bit more talent, then he would make him. But it still doesn't mean that it's a good film, unfortunately.
Nope, not at all. Well,
all right, let's go to final verdicts.
I'm going to go with the 2.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was honestly pretty fucking bored. There's not... Again, they tried their best. The story was paper thin. I was intrigued with some of the plots towards the end. Like, what the fuck is going... Like, how... Well, we'll talk about that, some of that stuff in spoilers. But a lot of the stuff that I did want to kind of know about was at the end, but I was happy it was over because
is that
honestly,
where it gets most of its points? 2 points?
Yeah, but
okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't like it. I won't say I liked it more than you, but I didn't hate it as much as you did. I was thinking 3 the whole
bored.
time.
2 was really bad.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's a bad movie, but I agree that it's super boring and it's super not interesting for the majority of it. And once it starts to get interesting, once we start getting whiffs of stuff that's like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for this whole movie, the movie just ends and we just speed run right through it. So I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I don't know if they wrote this thing out and then the way that they filmed it, they were so enthralled by their own bullshit at the beginning that they didn't focus on anything, or this was the plan the whole way through. But I would
The plan the whole way through.
I would not fucking go watch this movie.
No,
Don't spend any money on this.
Yeah,
I gave it 3.
I gave it a 2 because I spent $30 goddamn dollars.
That's Alamo's fault though.
No, you can't do that, Joe. Don't do that. We're reviewing movies, not reviewing small pizzas and bad food.
No,
you want to change your rating?
No, I'm not gonna change my rating.
It's 2.
Yeah, I was honestly bored. Like, I would never watch this again.
Never watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Would you?
Would I watch it again?
No.
Nah, I wouldn't watch it again. I like the concept. I wouldn't call it a bad film.
But
I don't think it deserves
there's a lot
to.
of.
I think that
There's a lot of bad films. Like, oh, I see what they're going for. If they did this, it's like, so you want to rework everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be a better movie, but I see what they're going for. But
I see what they're going for. It's disappointing. It's colossally disappointing for me. And I'm border between a 3 and a 4 on how disappointing it is. Because while it's flat, at least it's operating at, above bad for me. It feels like an episode of a horror anthology or something. Like a TV thing. Where it's just not pushed in any direction, and it doesn't go too far into the satanic. It doesn't go too far into the cult. It doesn't go too far into the just straight up psycho horror. It doesn't go too far into the football stuff. It's really about the themes underneath. And unfortunately, I wasn't connecting with a lot of the themes underneath of, sacrifice, fame, glorification of heroes, stuff like this, and it just doesn't work. And I wish it was better, because when I saw it in the trailer, I said, "Oh, this is something different. This looks different. This looks interesting. It looks unique."
Wearing a
it's either
Speedo to a job
one
interview
of
is
two
different.
ways. Huh?
Wearing a Speedo to a job interview is different. And it's unique, and it's like, it's still a bad fucking idea.
Good, one of two ways, and it went the way of wearing a Speedo to a job interview instead of, doing something different and impressive in the job interview. So I'm going to end at, I'm going to go with a 3 out of 10, because I just feel like all of the juicy bits were at the end, but it's still like, man, I waited all that for that time, and it was too long for that ending, and it was wholly unsatisfying. So don't go see him. Instead, see The Long Walk. If you want, character studies, if you want themes, if you want, brotherhood and things like that, you can find that with The Long Walk rather than him. I'm curious to how this film is going to do, because normally horrors of any kind make money no matter what. Yep. However, if you think about this horror, football, glorification, and this, it's like, well, your target market is going whoop, 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 whoop. You're losing the women, you're losing the international, you're losing the... So I'm curious if this thing will bomb. Barely nobody was in our theater. I couldn't buy tickets for it except for like the day before.
That's weird.
It is kind of weird, but it is in major release, so I guess maybe it'll start picking up here.
Probably didn't cost a ton to make. They've been advertising a lot.
Budget, $27 million.
Ooh, that's gonna be
a lot for what was on screen. What the fuck? Are you serious?
They could have just been one
Been,
room.
this was,
it's like one
they
room.
made Godzilla for 10. They made this film look like $2 million. Honestly, you had actors that aren't asking for a lot. Everybody in this film is not commanding a big paycheck. Nah, man. All right. We'll see if this thing bombs. It probably will. And I want it because it's like, are all football fans going out and supporting this film? Everybody watches the NFL. They're going to go check this thing out? Probably not. And if they do, they're probably going to come away disappointed. I can see people are like, oh, that was cool. Those are cool visuals and things like that. If you haven't seen a lot of cult, if you haven't seen a lot of horror, maybe you might think it's cool, but I think it was incredibly disappointing. All right. Well, so that is our review of it. Save your money, and if you want to know what happens, what this was all for, and
for nothing.
some of the more gruesome moments or payoff moments, come join us in the spoiler section. All right. Until then, we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So, what was this shit all about?
The scariest part of the whole movie is this kid sitting there and he's driving in the desert, and then this old lady spits on the window, and it's a jump scare. That is the most exciting part.
It's like
of
a
this
homeless lady or a drugged out meth head crack.
It's a portrayal of how like fucked up the fans are and like dealing with the fans.
I couldn't stop looking at that spit, and I couldn't get away from that spit on that. And it was gross.
Yeah. So this kid, wants to play football. In the beginning, we think he wants to play football. He's very talented. And then he's prepping to go to the NFL Combine, which is where they, before the NFL draft, and he gets attacked. He gets hit in the head with a hammer. And
so there's a fucking stupid little mascot-looking guy in the background, look like a bull demon, satanic-looking weird, but it's mascot, so it's friendly looking. But it's in the dark. Whoa,
here's a warhammer. No one with a warhammer is friendly.
And it's a fucking warhammer. Go ahead.
And it hits him in the head, and then he wakes up, and he pretty much misses the combine. He misses the combine because his brain is swelling. But his idol calls him up and just says, hey, you come out in the desert and you train with me. We'll give you kind of a private 1-week workout to see if you're fit to come play on the team that I'm on. And that's kind of.
And this guy won 8 Super Bowls.
One more than Tom Brady.
14 years in the
Tom Brady didn't
NFL.
win no 8 Super Bowls.
I said he won more than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has won 7.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has won 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah, last one with
how
fucking
many?
Bucks.
Hold on, Tom Brady.
Right? Yeah, last one with the Bucks.
Super Bowl appearances. Oh, right,
appearances?
I forgot. It's
Not
more.
appearances.
I want to know
here's
the
more,
appearances.
Like
Jesus
9?
Christ! And I was like, this is ridiculous. This is just dumb. Somebody did that.
Yeah, he missed.
Close.
And he missed
did
it,
that.
and Tom Brady missed entire seasons getting injured and shit. Like
1,
it's fucking.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He went to 10?
Went to 10 Super Bowls.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, I thought this movie was gonna be more about like the concussion stuff because like that happened. He's like, oh, you can't take another hit.
Yeah, crazy
and, like,
stuff.
they kind of just did away with
ultimately because there's a time where you don't know if it's his brain stuff. He's weird stuff is happening
I would
around
have
him.
liked that more.
Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed that significantly more.
Harder visuals, crazier visuals, and they keep injecting with drugs, and so I'm like, oh, this is gonna go somewhere. They're gonna do the drugs. Not even the drugs have a really cool effect.
Yeah.
He does get visions, but it's visions of somebody putting a bag over his head and old white men
Or
laughing
like a
at him.
weird
Because that's
little
the
mask.
message of the film. You got the old white owners who are owning
gods.
the
They're the
gods,
gods.
and they
They're the
own
gladiators,
the players who are essentially slaves and who are essentially just work
See,
for them.
like Alex said, it like cut out like the first half, I guess. But like I wanted to know that serum, what the fuck was going on. It's like, oh, this was the great before, and it's been passed down to all these things.
Yeah,
like that was kind of cool. And then like all this cult stuff.
The goat is a bloodline, and so what happens is when football first started, there was one guy, and he had like something in his blood, like they call it the beast at one period of time. And then when he was ready to quit, he somehow gave his blood to someone that he felt was worthy, and then they became the new goat, and then that it passes down.
Shut the fuck up. That's not what it was.
That's literally
Yes.
what the movie is.
What?
Well, I think that the demonic owners are the ones that created this via I don't
and it
know,
gets
a
passed
fucking
down.
spell.
He chooses.
The owners have taken control over the beast now, but before he played for different teams.
It wasn't the birth of just a talented individual who had good blood in him. No, it was always a demonic ritual started by some crazy owners and some fucking powerful rich assholes who worship the devil. And wouldn't anybody notice that the same fucking team is winning 8 Super Bowls, another dynasty,
Patriots?
another dynasty? Well, the Patriots had a dynasty, but nowhere near. Well, it wasn't the saviors, so maybe I guess the other ones were different teams.
It was
and
different
the
teams.
owners then allow a new NFL team to take the GOAT.
I don't know if the owners had anything to do with it previously. They did in this one because they're clearly, they're making sure that the next GOAT is also their GOAT. But the previous ones, they had wildly different. They weren't on the same team.
That's even stupider if that's what it was. Well, I mean, that it was just an inherent blood birth of one talented individual that had nothing.
I mean, Marlon Wayans had this whole thing about it in ancient cultures. We would take young kids out there. We would feed him blood. We would feed him roots. He'd go on a vision quest, and that blood would turn of the strongest warrior would turn him into a king. And this one, they're literally giving him blood transfusions, and he's like, "Hey, now you got my beast blood in you." And it's like,
and then the old white guys came in afterwards, and they're just all devil worshippers. And it may or may not be connected. I think it's all connected and all from the devil and demonic powers and stuff. Because at one point there is. It said supernatural, but it's not supernatural except for the very
There's
end.
one thing that's supernatural, and that's only one thing.
From Tim and Eric, he gets he slides into this.
Who's Tim and what?
The
guys
agent.
from Tim and Eric?
The agent.
Yeah, the agent guy.
His name is Tim. He slides into the pentagram thing and it
explodes.
Yeah.
Like,
so there is some supernatural thing there.
But
That's
it's like,
why I think
again,
it's not
at
just
the
one
end,
guy's blood.
I'm like, well, that was cool, I guess.
And in the context of the film, it doesn't make sense, though. It doesn't make sense. Why does the demonic entity randomly grab the fucking agent and drag him to the middle of a circle and just explode him for no reason?
I would have loved if we did any demonic entity stuff.
Yes.
Like, there is no demonic entity in this entire movie until, like, the last 2 seconds.
And there's not even there.
And
it's
so
just
like,
an invisible drag and then an explosion off screen, and you just see the shower of blood. It's like...
if there had been demons, I would have been so excited.
Me too.
And it was like, this would have been so cool. But
I was so fucking bored. I was bored.
I was like, oh, man, I'm going to watch this. My mom's going to be so mad at me.
It's like, Mom, nothing happened.
Jim Jeffries is in
my
this.
Mom and be like, Mom, this film sucked. It wasn't. There ain't gonna be any conversion to satanic worship.
Yeah, and then apparently everybody's in on this because all these free agents come up and they show up and like they're getting maimed and mutilated, and they're in on this thing like because they know that something's like super fucked up is happening, and
they're probably either in the cult or have heard about the powers that they have, so they're willing to sacrifice their bodies. That's what you see in the trailer. The one guy who's getting hit in the face with the ball over and over. Anytime the young quarterback screws up, Marlon Wayans has the guy shoot him in the face with the fucking football. And I thought that they were, and again, I want them to press these things. I wanted them to fucking kill the guy, but he doesn't die. He just, but that is the beginning of it. So you're just first, and he's like, what's going on here? And then you think it will ramp up from there. And it doesn't really ramp up from there.
A bunch of goofy shit happening all at once isn't like them ramping anything up. It's kind of like a series of random events.
So what's the next goofy shit?
After that is I know he gets attacked by the fan lady in his sauna.
So they're in a sauna.
He thinks he kills her. She tries to kill him with a rock or hit him with a rock, and he chokes the life out.
What's her deal?
She's the all of the fans are like mutant weirdos that are there showing like how disgusting from the player's perspective, how disgusting and how weird it is. Maybe it's like how invasive the fans are. The fans are literally camped outside of his house. They want pictures of him all the time. And so
weirdos, and they're constantly screaming. So yeah, and then
they don't want Isaiah to be replaced.
She doesn't like the new one. She wants Isaiah to be fine. So somehow she entered the facility, and she was hiding under the benches.
She got in because like during the rain, you see her kind of just being creepy. But then she
was waiting for an opportunity to get inside. Gets inside. I thought that there was going to be something where Marlon Wayans, I'm going to go watch tape. He leaves. The door shuts. they show the temperature getting higher.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He's going to get stuck in there. He's going to be like, I'm going to like start melting or whatever, and then desperately try to find a way out.
Nope.
No, they fucking do an about face, and she comes out from under, and
That's
she's doing
the
her
twist,
creepy
Joe.
thing. And then 2 other creepy painted guys are there just heckling and watching her.
It's her son.
And then just weirdos walking around. And then as she attempts to kill him, they kind of walk off. They don't even watch.
All
I don't know what's
creepy,
going
like
on.
they're
They
crawling.
disappeared.
Yeah, so
They
our
fucking disappeared, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
they
Our
took-
protagonist chokes the life out of her. She looks dead. He thinks that he's probably killed her, and she's just there. But then she pops up, and then Marlon Wayans like falcon punches her in the chest.
And this is weird because from the perspective is he's at the doorway and he just choked her out, and Marlon's like, hey, well, you know, talking to him, and she comes up behind him. But then the next shot is Marlon Wayans does something to her, I guess stabs her or something.
I think he just
I
like
don't know.
super punches her back, and she like.
and it doesn't make any sense.
Then he makes out with her.
Well, he makes out with her first.
Oh yeah, but
Because
then-
sometimes players do that.
'cause they wanna love their
Tyreek Hill
fans.
has a lot of kids.
so this.
a lot of kids.
And Watson with you know, getting too fresh with his massages in the saunas. So there's all this kind of the stuff that, but then he kills her, and then she dies, and he says, "I'll clean this up."
The kid is so totally normal about this woman that died, and that he thought he killed it. And it's just like he's like, all right.
This doesn't make any sense because he should have reacted in that way, in a different way.
We're not
Because
a-
he reacts with concern when the football player is all fucked up.
I don't think we're at the. I didn't buy that we're at the point where he is just completely dissociated from his like humanity. At the
We
end,
were supposed to
sure.
buy.
At the end, I totally get that he's like,
Right.
yeah, killing people is normal. I don't know what the hell's happening with my brain, but at this point, it's just I don't know what they were thinking.
So and I think ultimately, and then there's another more wackiness and stupidness. He's like, "Hey, let's stop this football thing. Let's go out and just hang as bros." And so they go out hunting, or they're not really hunting.
Shooting,
It's just
yeah.
shooting practice. And Marlon Wayans is shooting football helmets and things like that. And he's like, "I ain't got nobody else to shoot." We're like, "No." And
You got
then
the mascot.
weird, they bring out a mascot. You could clearly tell there's somebody in the suit. And then he gives the gun over to the guy. And I thought that they were going to make a big deal about this, where he's like, oh, shit, is he going to shoot a real person? You know, and he's going to choose not to. But
He can tell. Everyone can tell that there's a person inside of it.
Yeah.
he ignores it, and then he just shoots the fucking
Well,
mascot
he knows.
and kills the
He
guy.
knows because he's like, "Oh, that woman was crazy." Like, what woman? And then they bring out the mascot. It's like, "Oh, that one." Yeah.
Oh, that woman, you know,
Yeah,
talking
because
about.
once they bring it out, so
But
I assumed
clearly,
it was her.
it was
and he's like,
she
he
was
shot
in there.
her.
But she's already dead, Joe. That's why I didn't think it was her.
It could
I
be-
thought she already died. I thought it was going to be his girlfriend and his family, something more interesting to tie all the fucking shit together.
This scene was actually, I was so excited for the potential of the scene. Not only because I didn't know who was in there, because I think family would have been awesome, but Marlon Wayans actually says something to him really creepy. He's like, I bet you something.
I like that.
You make this, take this shot. If you hit it,
I'll give
you
you
anything
anything
that you want. Any money, cars, anything. You miss, I steal your youth. And I was like,
This was what I was like,
cool.
fuck
We're
yeah.
gonna do cool demonic. I'm gonna steal your youth shit.
A24, he would go.
Nope, goes absolutely fucking nowhere. This movie fucking
Instead,
sucks.
he actually,
Yes,
again,
thank you.
subverts your expectations, and he says, nah, I'm good. So he doesn't take
I
the
earn
bet.
my
He's
stuff.
like, I earn what I do, and then he
And
shoots
he shoots
him.
the lady.
But you committed murder, so if you're rejecting his teachings and you're rejecting his glorification and his psychopathy, then you shouldn't be fucking just shooting the thing, and then it shows that there's blood on the thing, so clearly there was somebody in the mascot. And it just moves on to the next fucking scene. Yada, 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 until we get to the fucking, let's just get to the climax.
Well,
the climax.
There was a climax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
the next scene is like them doing the interviews and stuff, the imagery where they're having the
The
dinner.
paparazzi
His wife
and
comes in,
then
the
preparing for
crown.
media stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crown, and it's like kind of behind him. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, this is where he reveals where I let my dad down because we were
did.
training for a long time, and then I
He's
told
got
him
an
I
interesting
don't."
story.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to play football no more.
Yeah.
Then
He
a
He
month
told
later,
his dad, I'm not playing football no more. And then his dad slowly dies. Months later, his dad passed away, and he feels guilt over that. And now he plays football, and he uses that playing football as a way to cope with his father's death.
So after all this crazy shit, he meets up with the owners, and they're like, "Hey, we want you," and he's like, "Awesome!" And then he wakes up, and there's a blood transfusion, and you can see we've seen the fact earlier that the Marlon Wayans character has had all this blood taken out of him in the past, and so this is the passing of it down, and so all of his blood is being pumped into him. Now he has the beast inside of him.
They're sharing the blood because they want to make it fair. So they do have a dun, 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 fight, but it sucks. The fight
Gladiator
sucks.
Dome with the cheering fans.
So it turns out he keeps saying, "I'm gonna watch some tape. I'm gonna watch some tape." The implication here is that Marlon knows that his time is done. And this is the new blood. He does have a small opportunity. If he can defeat him in combat or whatever, then maybe he can continue his contract. But his tape turns out to be just adoring fans worshiping him, not actual fucking football knowledge or anything, because he gets that from the blood, I suppose. So then as our young character has had enough of this bullshit, he's just fucking sick and tired of everything. And so he's going through the hall, and he finds Marlon in his fucking little room, and so he goes in there, and then Marlon shuts the door, and then says, "We're going to
tries to hit him with
fight to the
MVP
death.
Trophy. He catches it. It's like,
our young guy is a murderer now. He's just fucking murdering. It's like, okay, choose a path. Like, I get it. But okay, so he's his own demon, but a demon with choosing a different path.
Yeah, if he was trying to escape and then there was a fight, I think it's more believable. Him like actively seeking out murder seems real dumb. And then they fight, and then Marlon Wayans loses, and then they go out.
It's not a good fight.
It's not a good fight. And then he goes out and he sees everyone wearing like these pig masks. It's supposed to be like this creepy thing. The deal with the devil, where you sign this contract and you're almost selling your soul and your body, because like football is dangerous as fuck, and all these people end up with CTE, and they're doing this thing where, you know, it's not going to be good for you, but it's going to be really good for them. Right. And he doesn't want to do it. And they're like, "Hey, we've groomed you since you were a kid."
They reveal that it turns out there's a picture of his father and him, but there's a third person in the picture, and it's the fucking owner, the creepy devil-worshipping owner. And apparently he's been groomed from childbirth to take over. And
I think they killed his dad, too.
Maybe.
I think his dad might have just died, but they definitely hit him over the head and gave him the concussion so that they can have the excuse to go on this fucking journey and discovery of devil worship, whatever it is. But eventually they say, "Sign the contract." He says no, and the fucking owner's like, "Man, get this guy to sign the contract." His agent takes off the mask and you know, the parade stuff. He's like, "Come on, just sign the fucking contract." He says, "No, I'm not gonna do it." And then they're like, "All right, well, we'll kill your fucking family if you don't sign the contract." And then he kind of takes a breath, and you see the guy that hit him over the head previously, or maybe it's a new fucking mascot. I don't care.
Some mascot.
He's gonna kill him
with a sword.
He ducks to the sword, turns around, uses the warhammer to kill, and now he's unleashed. And all the old white guys are like, "Oh,
he's slaughtering
shit!"
like pigs.
And then everybody starts running, and then he basically starts killing everybody and not signing the contract. The lady, the wife of the previous superstar Marlon Wayans, says, I'll get him to sign. And she takes a knife and she goes over there, but she trips and she falls on her own knife. So it's not even a satisfying kill for her. But then
none of it was satisfying. It was just like there for gore.
And then he's killing everybody, and the owner goes up against a goalpost, and we just get a close shot of his head, and then there's a sword through it, and he basically decapitates the owner. The head falls off. It's a big old spurt of blood, so you get a shower fountain of blood. And then everybody's dying around him. The agent's like, "Oh," he's trying to call, somebody. And he doesn't kill the agent, because it looks like he's going to kill the agent, but then he leaves the agent alive. And that choice is like, okay, so what is gonna happen? Then for no fucking reason, or you hear some weird audio, and he starts just sliding on his own, and you're like, wait, what? What is happening here?
Is there a demon in this movie that we didn't know about?
Right,
because
that would have been way more interesting.
I would have really liked that. Like, oh, you didn't have someone initiate my contract. Like, if you don't sign the deal with the devil, someone's got to die. I would have loved all of those things, but we didn't
kept threatening to be a really fucking interesting movie. You remember how I said that battle with Marlon Wayans and him that dun, 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 could have been it was a shitty battle? At one point, Marlon goes, "I'm gonna show you who I truly am," and I was like, "Yes." Finally, demon time. And it looked like there was like a green screen or like his body is going to shimmer and then change. And I was like, let's go. And nothing happens.
No, well, you missed the important part. He beats him up with the helmet. And then he's looking over.
Oh, I did miss that part.
It's a shiny gold helmet. It's like the beacon.
Oh, that's
like,
so
you know
stupid.
What's better than a savior?
What's the opposite
of a savior?
A killer?
No,
a mascot. And he kills him.
It's known,
Epic.
Joe.
I thought he said monster.
No.
Mascot.
In that moment,
Mascot.
he said monster.
I heard mascot.
That is stupid. The opposite of savior is mascot?
Yeah.
That's why there was mascots everywhere.
No, it's great.
There's mascot and
that was so
shooting
fucking
range,
stupid.
mascot.
And then why would the helmet even glow? Like, get this. So
beast
if
powers.
you're even doing the fucking power, you're doing everything
because
wrong.
they look cool.
I know, but you're
look
doing
cool.
everything wrong. Let's say he's like rejecting the devil. He's rejecting this cult shit. He's rejecting all this. Then you could have played with angels versus demons, or he has like he gets infused with godly powers, or to strike down a demon that is actually possessing football players and stuff.
They had some imagery of it, but
no, it's not there. And he's not a good guy. He goes around murdering everybody. So yes, he murders himself free of being owned and oppressed and in this endless cycle of depravity, but he himself had to fucking murder and kill to
But
get
it's not like
so
there's
there's
10
no message.
commandments
But he still
What's the fucking message?
He still has all the powers. He can go play baseball and.
I don't think he has the powers.
He's
but
got
He still does.
Mr. Beast powers.
Yeah.
I mean, why did the helmet glow? So I guess he does have anything. What?
Yeah.
No, man, this is ridiculous.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's just. I wanted to like it.
Me,
and
I
wanted
did
to
too
like
because if I'm gonna spend like a couple hours in the theater, I
Cam-
want to enjoy it.
Cam is meant to eventually replace Isaiah as the GOAT. Isaiah has embraced the power of being the best and what it brings him. It's a personal drive for Isaiah. He keeps going off watching tape. It's just cheering crowds, celebrating him as he wants himself to be. And then, it's an inherent, you're inheriting the power from person to person. And then at the end, Cam and Isaiah fight to the death to become the greatest. And then Isaiah, a true believer in greatness, explains why he's smiling as Cam kills him and takes the title from him. The true villains of the piece prove to be the people profiting off the athletes.
Yeah.
But once Cam kills Isaiah, he reaches the football field where he finds the owners of the San Antonio Sabres. Oh, San Antonio?
Yeah.
Oh, that's over here.
Yeah.
It's
All the owners in Texas.
all waiting for him to sign a contract. And then the entire sequence builds off demonic imagery, but I wish there was more. And then
Kills the gods.
it reveals there really is some supernatural force at play. But it's like, okay.
It is
However,
revealed
the
that there was
origin,
some
the
good
true
stuff
origin, the
with
effects,
shit.
and the motives of this deal are left unsaid and undealt with. And then Cam is ambushed with all this, and he's taken aback. And then it's a powerful metaphor for the world that young athletes often find themselves entering.
Very, very powerful.
That's what the message of the film was. A labyrinth of wealth and bureaucracy and contracts that eventually feel like you're signing your life away.
It's true because
It's
again,
this feels like a
we already-
student project
Yeah.
that just didn't go well.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, you're precious. I get what you're
'cause
trying to do.
we'll circle back. Antonio Brown, very talented, got hit too many times, had all the money in the world. now he's.
In this way, the owners
crazy
become the
man.
devil of the film, and it's one of HIM's harshest criticisms about the world of sports, that the team owners profit off hard work, personal sacrifice of the players, the overarching villains who benefit the most from the pain.
So the hero of our story has been Deshaun Watson the entire time?
Why does Deshaun Watson?
Because he got $180 million guaranteed and played no games.
So he took the money without having to.
And he
do the work.
defeated the evil owners.
And he found some masseuses that were not licensed.
Oh.
Cam
Where's
claims
your license?
to be doing his father proud by becoming the GOAT, but then it revealed that it was always the plan, and so
Yes.
that adds a layer of tragedy to Cam's commitment to becoming.
Well, this is like maybe they killed him because they did.
Gives
say,
him the motivation.
"We'll
He's
kill-"
like, my motivation has been my father, and they're like, this is how we do
Yeah.
it.
Why Cam says no, what that means, the culmination of Cam's refusal to become like Isaiah. But you're killing people all over the place. I guess since you're killing bad guys, since you're killing demonic people.
Makes it okay.
I guess it does make it okay. Cam struggles with his own internal lines and what's necessary to appease Isaiah. He steadily grows colder, more detached, but the connections he has with his family and friendship he develops with Isaiah's doctor, Marco, reinforces his commitment to faith and family over football.
What? What movie was that?
These are the
I want to
movies
I want
that
to
are
watch
so-
movies with you, your movies, and do the same thing. And we'll talk about how deep, like Sasquatch Penis Adventure 9 is.
It's this movie, Joe. The director believes this.
Did
This
you
is
get any
this
of that
movie.
though in the movie?
I mean,
It's
there's
there.
hints and whiffs of it, but
It's
like
there, but it's not at the front. You have to dig for it, and the morsels aren't.
Let's go dumpster diving.
if you're just in so far up your own ass, you're like, no, it's so
Yeah.
many layers.
Cam resists the final temptation and kills his way to freedom, becoming his own man instead of becoming a mascot. So you were right. Instead of becoming a mascot for the wealthy to benefit from. That's why he calls him, it's opposite of savior, a mascot. He basically called Isaiah a mascot for the wealthy to profit from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Message.
Wonderful.
Message. All right, that's enough of this shit. We went way too far and long than this film deserves.
Do you still want to stick with your number?
A 4? No, I think I gave it
You
a 3.
3?
Did I give it a 3? I'm going to go down to a 3. If I gave it a 4, I'm
You gave
going
it a
down to a 3.
you gave it a
Okay.
3.
There's a 3. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Instead of this, go watch Long Walk or watch Her. Then you'll actually get some creepy, weird, fucking
It's
demonic
happening.
shit. I don't know.
Oh,
Some
Her?
gross-ass stuff. Yeah, Her. If I'm thinking of the right film, it's an A24 film that's creepy. She's like, there's like a hall, a tunnel, and there's a guy that keeps like fucking
Oh, I'm thinking
being
about
a
a different
stalker.
one.
Yeah. Y'all
Are you
y'all
talking about
didn't like
Men?
her because she
You're
like
talking about
turned-
Men.
No, that's Men.
I was thinking about
what is Her?
with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes, Joaquin
with the
Phoenix in love with
AI.
AI. I was
shit,
like, what the
you're
fuck is he
right.
talking
Yeah,
about?
like
You're
he falls in
right.
love with Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
It's good.
I was
That's
thinking of
better.
Men.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.